There she is, Mrs. Ryan. Gotta love a kitty cam. Oh, no.
Oh, that cat.
Oh, it got so dark.
Got dark.
There we go.
Kitty.
Oh, meow, meow. I love chumming that pond. It's gross to sleep on. I have to do the comforter an awful lot. But
I meant to ask you if I should watch that today.
well, it's probably time, I would say. All right, Mrs. Ryan, you want to start the show?
Let's start the show.
Let's do it.
Married.
You're nice. Hi, Mrs. Ryan.
Hello.
Let's start out the show with some apologies, shall we?
Oh, I can't wait.
No, I'm just kidding. Hello, everybody. Hello. Welcome back. Let's get us in the room here. There we are, Mrs. Ryan. Hello. There we are. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
I know, right? For my first trick. Let's go. We're going to go down the list. First of all, YouTube. We got a complaint for the way.
What day is it?
Today. Oh, shit. God damn it. You're right. Thank God. See, what would I do? Today is Tuesday, June 5th, 2018. We have a guest. She is Kirsten Anderson. I am here with Mrs. Ryan first. We're going to cover some business. And hello, everybody. And I'm Jay Ryan as well. What would I do without you? Thank God. See, I told you, this isn't formal. Our guest today was not nervous, but thinking, I don't know how long. And it's like, look at us. We don't know what we're doing. This is fantastic.
It's great.
Is it fun?
It's
I think
so
it's
much
fun.
fun. And I used to be super uptight, and I think I still carry some of that. And she's from my uptight land, old life. And I just see it, and I'm like, oh, God, we were the worst.
Nah, everything's good. And
we made awesome, cool stuff happen. But man, were we uptight.
I can't wait to talk about that. All right, to the apologies. Can we do that
Yeah.
now? All right, to YouTube, there was a comment for the way that Mrs. Ryan was treated yesterday, and I don't even disagree, except, well, hang on. The comment was blah, 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 made me so uncomfortable, I didn't continue watching and turned it off. It was during the part yesterday when we were doing the news, throwing the whole point of that bit is that it never works. It's always awkward. It's always causes a problem between Mrs. Ryan and I. So we created that bit as a way to try to work on it. It never works. It doesn't ever work. It hasn't worked yet. But today might be the day we're going to change that. But I watched it back, and I certainly saw what this guy was talking about. But at the same time, it was like, had he just kept watching, you would have seen that probably a second after he turned it off, it was a laughter, and like, I did apologize. I said, oh, I screwed it up. You were like, yeah. And I said, all right, I'm sorry. And we moved on with a lot of laughter, and then like never thought about it again. But the guy not only commented about how it was very uncool of me, there was an additional comment later, and I should add, I think you owe her an apology. I loved it. I'm sorry. I know it was a negative thing, and it was about something that I did that was bad, and I don't want to be like a weird guy and everything, but I loved it. I loved that somebody out there was like, hey, man, that was kind of a dick moment, and called me on it, because we need to do that with each other, and there's nothing wrong with that. I didn't mean to. I was when I watched it back a little bit. Not a little bit. I was, and I'm sorry for that. But I didn't know it in the meantime because I didn't mean to. So intentions weren't there to hurt your feelings or to be a whatever. Well, I don't know. I didn't want to put a word in the guy's. I can't remember what he said, but it wasn't rude. It was. There was something very specific, and I should have quoted it. Go to YouTube, check it out, leave a comment, tell us how you feel about it.
I really appreciate the comment. I appreciate that people see things. I think that it was a dude was so cool.
Yeah.
Because
a gun-toting dude. When I looked at his videos.
Well,
A Porsche guy.
I didn't
Porsche
look
fellow.
into it too far, but I think we all have different kind of gradations of how we deal with people, and I think it's neat to see how that works out for some people. The reality is, though, is that I can be a pain in the butt to deal with sometimes, and the backstory is that you'd given me pretty clear direction, and I
wasn't going to
bungled
go
all of
into
it.
the whole thing. I was just like, this guy made a point. I'm going to say that his point was right. There's a whole bunch of reasons as to why that all happened, but he was right. I didn't have the the poise in the moment I perhaps should have.
Well, thanks to that guy and you.
I think I commented with something on there to the lines of like, whatever it looks like in the moment, I assure you that we are always a team and that we're working together behind the scenes, no matter what it looks like. Is that fair? That's how I feel.
It's totally fair. I appreciate the perspective, but you are right. It is always a team effort, how it all comes together.
All right. All right. Well, that's out of the way. Was there anything? Oh, yeah. No, there's a Facebook. Well, that's not an apology. This is good, though. All right. Can I do one more piece of business?
Please.
All right. When I was a kid, I had a show like this in high school. And one of my, I don't know if it was a friend, somebody I knew, I guess, in high school, chimed in on Facebook after we posted the video yesterday with the old pictures of like me when I was in high school doing this stuff. And Rachel Hall, shout out to Rachel Hall. And we were sort of reminiscing on Facebook, on the forum there, about a time where she came and was in the studio audience for the show.
For your show?
Mm-hmm. And she, I guess, used to watch the show with her little brother at the time. We're in high school, and I'm like maybe a sophomore
That's really
or something.
Cute.
So
she was sitting
maybe
home
the same.
with her kid brother.
Yeah, who was 12 at the time. But anyway, she was coming to the taping, so the brother wrote, and we used to do viewer mail because we just ripped off everything Letterman and like right off out of the top 10 book and the whole thing. We were doing viewer mail, so the kid gave the sister a letter to bring in to the show.
It's really adorable.
So I have a clip of that if you want to see it.
It's
not good. It's not entertaining. It's not creative. But, you know what I mean? It's not good. But what it is does show the backstory of me doing this for a very, very long time. So if you think it's rough now, hang on. All right. If this is the right one, I believe we were looking at Chris Hall's letter on Good Evening. The name of that show is Good Evening.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go.
First
Roll it,
guest,
Hal.
As I said earlier, has a major part, actually major.
Oh, that's the wrong one. Hang on.
One
Yep.
of the members of
Hal.
our studio audience
There we go.
brought this in today. I think her name was Rachel Small or something. And she brought this in. No, I'm just kidding. It was Rachel Hall. And Rachel, please, don't beat me up.
Thinking on my feet there.
This was her little brother. He watched our show last night, and this is to Ryan. He's kind of given us some got it out. He's just some things that he would like to see on the show. Have more jokes, or have some jokes. Have some jokes. Show
rude.
less sports. Okay, I think that was the soccer thing. Get stupid pet trucks. I think it's supposed to be tricks.
It was a weird show. The phone rang at my desk. That had never happened
The
before.
phone works. I never thought the phone worked.
It's like on the secretary
He said
line
he didn't
outside,
hear
but we
any
used to use
crashing
it 'cause
noises
we
when I
used to
threw
really
the
call
cards
in
through
and
the
out, like,
window.
order pizza on the show and stuff.
Sometimes I would do things like that. Anyway, it says, I couldn't have done better myself, and continue the good work. This is from Chris Hall, age 12, Wilton, Connecticut. Well, Chris, I would really like to thank you a lot for writing in, or having your sister bring it in.
You know what I mean?
What
like
are we
it's,
doing?
there's a- it's
And
everybody.
Chris,
There's
yes,
kids
we will
doing all
certainly
of
try
the
to
stuff,
do,
so nothing
some
is
of the things that
consistent.
you have on
Nothing,
here.
you know what I mean?
ASAP.
It is pretty phenomenal.
Thanks,
It was
Chris.
actually shown.
We are going to do the top 10 list
You mean on the
for
television?
tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I agree. Oh, let's see. Come back here. Hello. Come back. There we are. What a road down memory lane for me. It's so bizarre to now 25 years later be sitting at David Letterman at the desk that was new then. This was new in 1993. That was in 1993. So I'm watching that, watching this, doing that, and now I'm here doing this, watching that. What the fuck is going on? I just had a weird
Very
moment.
meta.
All right, one more just to, it was from the same episode, just to show you the caliber of guests we were getting with that wonderful cavalcade of comedy there. That's sarcasm. Sarcasm. Here's one more clip from the same episode. Show you who the guest was that day. I don't know if you'll know him or not, but for us, it was a big get. Roll it, Hal.
First guest, as I said earlier, has a major part, actually two major parts in the afternoon soap opera All My Children. Please, everybody, give a warm welcome to Mr. David Canary. Nice to meet you. Thank you very much for coming.
You do have a studio audience.
We do have a studio audience. It's exciting. Get this little mic over here.
Okay. This guy was
Now,
on.
can we just get an okay
Bonanza.
check
He's
that
since
that
passed
mic
away
works?
now.
Because nothing else.
Strangers in the night.
Oh yeah.
They go all over the world, and they've been
Sorry.
many, many cultures, and they're composed of many cultures, I understand. Anyway, they're coming to town. They're going to be at the Wilton High School the weekend after Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
So watch for that, because I think that's going to
He's
be
talking about
interesting.
up with people who we ended up having on the
so
show
anyone
instead.
Here, you'll all be here, right?
And the reason I
all be
did
there.
was
They'll all be
because
there.
Letterman used to make jokes about them.
This
Cool,
is
I'll
not
just
with
get
people
him on the
group
show.
I've ever seen one.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. I was just
Hey,
flirting.
come on, react to him. Come on.
We have a lot of females in this audience. They're awfully pretty, so I thought,
We don't have a darn guy in this audience.
yeah,
I didn't
that
notice
was weird.
that.
it's a good sign, right? It's a good sign.
Well, it's only because
Rachel
You're getting
Hall,
across.
if you
You've got
remember
your
that,
audience. You know what
was,
it is.
was there really only girls
The
in the
guy from
audience?
Las
I don't
Vegas?
remember.
Are we in here?
Ladies and gentlemen, and all you guys here, this is
That's right.
David Canary.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming.
Gentlemen, and all you guys here. So funny. Awful. So uncomfortable. Can we get to our guest now so I can get off of that? No, there's a reason for all of that, though. Our first guest, our guest tonight, I guess also has some early origins in stuff like that. So that's why I wanted to open with some of my embarrassing stuff first. You want to bring her in?
Come in.
All right, let's bring her in. Our guest, Kirsten Anderson.
Randomly, mine are Michael J. Fox
All right, we're coming back now because this is getting interesting. Randomly, Michael J. Fox crushes.
and Kevin Bacon.
Really?
Yeah, random. Footloose and Family Ties.
Yeah.
And those are the reasons.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then
Of course.
Crispin Glover. Not a crush,
What?
but someone who, because wasn't he had that really bizarre appearance, right?
On Letterman.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, Ball State. We should bring attention. Hang on. All right. First of all, all right. We are back. We've got everyone here now. And hello.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Ryan.
Oh,
Hello.
my. Here we go. It's getting official.
Getting formal.
Every once in a while.
I can't even say that line. That's my mom. That's with the name. Did you ever have that when you were a kid? When you would be like, "Hi, Mrs. Smith," and she'd be like, "That's my mom."
I had a lot of my friends parents were teachers too. So to this day, I'm still like Mr. or Mrs. If that's what you meant. I
You're
don't
so
know.
sweet. Yeah.
Hi, Kirsten's mom.
Hey, Mary Lou.
do, even as an adult.
Yeah.
It's just funny.
Sweet. It is funny.
Fun. Just getting you in here was right. The first time we've had extra guests in the new studio. So I'm sure
So
nobody can hear me.
exciting.
You guys, please continue to have convo.
They were your
She was on the chair. I'm like,
How dare you?
I know.
I know you are forward. That's a good thing.
I'm what?
Forward, but you're not. You're just you. That's what's awesome.
Yeah, I was totally kidding. I'm sorry. All right. We're back. All right, you guys.
Here we are.
Hi.
Hi. So I have pictures to show. We have things. I know you guys have talked about things that you want to discuss and just kind of chat about and have a hang about. You've got water. We can make coffee if this goes long. Just hang out.
Great.
Here you go. I'll be over here.
I had not actually prepared a lot, so.
Oh, I thought you guys were talking before and it seemed like a
we
whole
were
thing. I'm
just
sorry.
talking.
It just happens randomly.
But that's what this is, you guys. It's just talking.
Yeah.
Well, normally we meet and we go to get a coffee, but the coffee's usually for me. I think you like fancier fare beverages.
I try to just like straight black coffee because I feel that every time I don't drink that my grandparents in heaven or where, they're just like, oh, what is she doing to that?
Adding all the stuff to it.
Yeah. They're, just purists in coffee. And
You know what's funny? I think that's a Letterman thing too, isn't he?
Oh,
He's one of
probably.
those black is the way to go.
The Midwest.
It's Ball State.
Yep. A shout out to my friend. So I was born in Indiana, then moved back before my junior year of high school. And so then when I graduated high school, all my... That would
No,
help,
you're okay.
probably.
No, yeah, I'm just aiming it at you just so you don't have to worry about it.
My friends went to Indiana schools, and then I went to school in Ohio. And so we just swapped sweatshirts, I guess. And
Where did you go to school?
Capital University.
Oh, okay.
This is what we were talking about.
Oh, see?
The one and only Capital University.
Because
Well,
it's
that's
a
nice.
random. Is it small? It sounds like it would be.
It is small. It's one of those little private liberal. I can't say
Liberal
it.
arts?
Liberal arts.
I can't even
Money
say
well
liberal.
spent.
Liberal. I know. Art schools. It's Lutheran affiliated, and
All right.
yeah, my dad was a Lutheran pastor. That's where he met his mom. My brother went to Capital. He met his wife. I went there. I met a lot of friends. And so, yeah.
So you tried LA because that seemed like a good.
Yeah, I
next
figured,
step.
hey, Capital was cool. Let's go to LA. And here I am, 16 years later.
Oh wow.
Wow, 16 years later.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so can we just go back to maybe we'll start with where we met and then should we start with how you guys, you guys were colleagues. I don't know how much you
remember
want to
when I
talk
met
about
you.
though from any of that stuff.
The thing that when you asked me yesterday, like who's coming in,
That is correct.
That is correct.
I did ask you yesterday.
I didn't have an easy way to say how I know you because I don't really remember. As far as I know, you were in the field department of a big company that we would have junkets on. But
Yeah.
you got us the junkets are those big things like that movie. What's that one with
American
yeah,
Sweetheart. Is it not?
No, it's
American?
not. It's American Sweethearts. It's with Catherine Zeta and that guy.
Yes.
And so,
Wait, Notting Hill too, though. Not Notting Hill. Is it Notting Hill when
I
he's
do love
from
Notting
Fox
Hill.
and Hound?
Yes.
That's Notting
From
Hill.
Fox and
Oh,
Hound.
God.
Yeah.
It's one of
She's at
the
a junket.
funniest.
yes,
It's one of the
Yes.
funniest movies
that is one of the
ever.
greatest movies. But those junkets are just. I took it very seriously because my job in it was serious, and as you probably did too. But there's a lot of people assigned to each talent, and you were sometimes assigned to help shepherd us where we were going. So
Point you down the hallway to this door. Now we go to
now
this
I realize
room.
how important that is because I get lost in driveways, and now I
Thank
know
you.
why. So I really appreciate all the efforts that we have had. But that's how I know you.
It
But I
was
don't
some-
necessarily
yeah.
know what you did. I just know that's how I know you. So
Mm-hmm.
we became friendly there. But then I guess,
Can we find out? What did you do?
oh yeah.
Oh, well, I worked in a field department.
Oh, so you
studio.
nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
then you thought right. Everything you're saying is right.
Yeah.
At some point she nodded, so I knew I was on the right
But
track.
I couldn't say what film. I have no idea because it's been several. I mean,
There were a lot.
Yeah. So
All
the
right.
specifics, and
Well, I was just trying to
Yeah.
figure out what the root is to how you guys are friends. You know what I mean? I know how we met.
yeah.
It was through you, but it was at Comic-Con maybe a long time ago.
Yeah.
Not 10 years ago, but it was early on. So maybe over 5 years ago. How's that?
Yeah, definitely.
Over
11 or
5 years
12
ago.
probably.
Yeah.
That sounds right to me. Correct.
Yes.
And we went to, and I feel like you invited us to, I feel like you put it on the table because did you have anything to do with the event that we went to?
No, it was Alex.
Oh, of course.
Right?
It was Alex and K-Rock because of Ralph Garman and
okay.
everything. Of course, you're exactly
Yeah.
right. But the gist of it, we were at the Kevin Smith, Ralph Garman, and whoever else, the Smodcast that they do.
Oh,
Actually,
right.
yeah, Scott Mosier was there for sure, I remember, because I was a fan. And we, it was the first time I met you, and it was like, wait a second, we had a mutual friend
Yeah.
in Derek Pruitt.
Yes.
And it was one of those, wait, you know DP? Of course, everyone knows DP. Yes, that's correct.
It is.
It's not a funny, that's just Derek Pruitt.
Yes. And your name, Jay Ryan, like I had never met you with him or anything. I was
That's what it was.
like, wait a second. I know I've heard that name. Do you know? And then that all came
Is that
together.
really how it was in
Yeah.
Lifetime? I just remember that it happened. Oh, that's so cool. And then I just remember that a lot was going on that night. Like in general, your guys' worlds. I was there for work that year too. Like a lot of stuff was going on, and I just remember that we all got trashed and had our own little party in the back of this podcast that was like in a bar. I mean, it was public. It was a huge audience, to the point where like we had our own little show and we left early. Like maybe even because we were asked to. I think might have been how that went down. But I just remember all hitting it off and having a grand old time and being like, oh my gosh, this person's awesome. How do we hang out more often? And then I didn't hear your name again for like 5 years. And
well,
then
that's
you
this
guys started
town.
hanging out again.
I think that's this town in general, you know, it just, you have your 3-month friends or your 6-month friends just because you live in different parts of the city or because you work a ton, and whenever you do have some free time on a weekend, I think that's just the nature of this area.
What do you do on your free time? Like
Me?
tell us about you, Ball State. What's up? Other than not having gone to Ball State.
Well, you know what? I'm actually in this sort of, I guess, a new phase in my life because,
Love when that comes.
but yeah,
It's always good.
I had a very hectic schedule, as you used to at one point too, and now I have quite a different schedule, which is I'm having all sorts of adjustments, where just recently I realized, you know, when you go from school years to real years, like instead of September to August, it's January 1st. That's when you start your year.
It's like switching from metric system
Exactly.
to standard or something.
Well, now I'm realizing I can't gauge time on events or places I'm traveling or anything like that. It's actually just weekends. And it's sort of mundane, but it's a beautiful mundane. And
interesting.
So I'm just,
I think I might have lost something there. How does that translation work? How is it only the weekends?
or let's say the weeknights after 6 p.m.
Oh, okay, you're just taking your time back, you're saying,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah, good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean,
So-
that's something that happens, and that's something that I think happens sort of like when I'm an adult. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
just the whole time you think you're there, and we're never there. I mean, you're never there, but something happens at some point, whether you have kids or whether it's something like a death in the family, something happens. And sometimes it's just like, oh, this is your maturity point. It's the tipping of the scales, and it's like a natural thing. It sounds like you're now all of a sudden maybe just, are you doing a life change across the board by any chance? Like, are you, is this just work stuff, or is this kind of you're figuring stuff out everywhere?
Like probably figuring stuff out everywhere.
Yeah.
As
I feel like you upset one out, not you, but like in general, one
Yeah.
like you move one and it's like they all fall, like they all change.
Yeah.
Everything upends.
Yeah, and it's like you can try to keep everything the same, but suddenly it's like, I don't know if I like that pattern. Like it just doesn't fit right. So then, like, what are you fighting to cram into something that doesn't fit? You know, it's just super different, and you must have so much more time now than you did.
I
Is
do.
that
And
jarring?
it is. That's what I'm saying. I'm figuring out how to spend that. I feel like a long time I was sort of doing nothing but I was feeling bad for doing nothing, which
Always,
I was doing
that's
something.
That's always a struggle. Are you still doing the same thing professionally, or are you out of that? I don't mean,
yes.
Is that okay? Can we?
No, it's fine. Well, basically, but not.
You're treating it differently. It sounds like you're putting boundaries and kind of protecting your time more.
Yeah.
But you're still doing the same job and stuff.
No.
Oh,
actually,
okay.
It's a different side of the.
It's totally from an outsider. It's a completely
it
different
is.
side of the business.
I am learning all new things, but based on the original principles.
Oh.
I don't know. I mean, whatever.
That's true. It
Yeah.
just sounds so simple.
It's very cryptic to me because I don't know what's happening. So I don't know what is the. Is it just the way you're treating it, or have you switched jobs? Do you
I
not
did
do
switch
what you're
jobs.
used to do
Yeah.
anymore?
I
Okay,
don't do
know
what I
that we
used to
covered
do.
that.
Yeah, but it's okay. Instead of working on movies when they go into the theaters, I work on movies before they go into your homes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
That's all, really.
But don't you? We've talked about a lot of older titles. Like, do you?
Yeah.
Concentrate. Do you have more of a broad.
Yes. So
spectrum
now
of films?
it's working on.
Can we say what you do for everyone else? Because I'm having a hard
Oh, a
time following
publicist.
this.
I
Oh,
guess.
okay.
Yeah, I'm a publicist
For home
The
video
studio.
now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know it's like.
Well, now people have
Yeah.
an area in which we're
So
playing.
publicity, yes. So
Versus theatrical, I guess, is
yeah.
the best way to codify
exactly.
the delineation of what you're doing.
But and that's where we met, because if we would put on press events or any publicity for any of the titles at the studio, then we would work with the personal publicist, and that's how we met. So we would still have met, just in a different window, I guess.
So it sounds like the landscape of the business is changing quite a bit, and you've changed with it, right? Because this used to be like, oh, everything was the theaters and ramping up for that. Nowadays, it's kind of streaming stuff. I'm assuming maybe that's what you mean, getting into your homes or home video. You said.
Yeah.
Okay.
Home entertainment.
Does that include streaming? Mm-hmm. It does.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. You have your digital release dates and you have your physical release dates.
Yeah, and I guess what I meant was maybe say a Hulu or a Netflix versus Apple iTunes for sale. Do you know what I mean? Are you more on the when something gets released first time, or is it or I don't know what I'm trying to ask here.
I know what you're saying, and
I'm not certain it matters either,
yeah,
but I'm trying to, for the sake of what you do.
I don't know if it really does, because and two, things are constantly changing, and I'm still learning.
I think for me it was whether or not to go down the road of, you're recycling old titles. Like all of a sudden you're doing new work on old stuff that's already been created, which is an area of great interest to me, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
So that's why I was asking.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Neat.
That was a long, roundabout. You're like, this guest is really interesting.
No. It's not that at all. It's more on the lines of this is all a learning process.
Take some water.
Do you know what I mean? For
Yes.
us doing this, I mean, I'm not really a professional moderator type of thing, and we definitely have that type of setup. Meanwhile, you guys are friends, and you guys always do get coffee together. What do you guys talk about when you get coffee?
Well, I don't know. I mean, my health stuff tends to take over a lot of my conversations that I have with people, and I try really hard not to, sorry. But I do find that...
I think it's pretty awesome that you're honest with people.
And that's what I told her as well.
For real. That is not easy.
Yeah.
Well, in speaking further to why we were reconnected, a lot of people just couldn't deal with that because it is a lot. And so a lot of people, I used to say people disappeared. And it's not that they just necessarily disappeared, but they disappeared from my purview. So like you're saying, you have friendships and relationships that are 3 months or 6 months or 8 months or 6 years, whatever John Mulaney said the other day. You don't need, and that's all well and good. And it's totally true. There are different kinds of relationships, except most of mine were that longer term, lot of space between seeing people. And so a lot gets lost in that. So we reconnected in person in a way that we hadn't been friends before, because we finally made the time to sit down and have a coffee. And
it's really more like you guys became
hours.
friends recently. It sounds like, if that's, I don't mean to put that in. I mean, you guys always knew each other and you were acquaintances, but you seems like the friendship has really developed recently. I'm sorry if you got emotional. Okay. You too. Oh, good. Oh, you guys.
No, and that's what we're just, I guess, realizing we have a lot more in common. even more recently.
Yeah.
And how did you guys figure that out? By being open and honest with each other? Like, you have to sort of not be afraid to put it out there, and then the other person's like, me too.
Well, too, it would be convenient to meet her for coffee because I would always have a doctor's appointment over here. And through those doctor's appointments, I realized I have narcolepsy.
Are you serious?
Yes. Did
Wow.
you not know that?
No, I'll try and keep it moving. Gee whiz.
I was like, yeah, I have narcolepsy. But
Wow. Not enough that you can't drive or anything like that.
that is narcolepsy with cataplexy.
my goodness.
I don't have the cataplexy. I just have the jacked up, like.
What happens? What happens for you?
Okay, so most people, when they fall asleep, go into REM sleep 70 to 90 minutes in. So you get the proper amount of deep sleep. Because when you hit, although it seems like REM sleep is what you want, your brain has to really work to make sure your body knows you're dreaming.
I know a little bit about this.
Yeah.
I fully agree with
Yeah.
you. Your brain has to shut your body off. It actually has to
Yes.
paralyze you and
Exactly.
burn a tremendous amount of energy to not have you running around the room at night while you're dreaming.
Yes. So with me, my sleeping pattern's just scattered. It's all jacked up. And so I never really get the proper amount of deep sleep. And
That sounds horrible.
yeah.
So insomnia is a thing?
No, too much sleep.
What?
Like I can't
But
sleep
not
enough.
quality sleep.
Exactly.
You
And
spend.
that's-
It sounds like everything you've told me. You spend hours, the proper amount of hours, getting your Z's, but you're not actually. Your body's not getting any of that
Exactly.
recoup time.
You don't smoke a ton of pot. You don't strike me as like a
No,
total pot. I
no.
think smoke 24/7.
Well,
Okay. Sometimes they say that if you smoke a lot of pot, you don't get the REM sleep, and then you have your own sleeping issues and all sorts of other stuff.
Exactly. I guess I'm a best case and a worst case scenario. Once
Congratulations!
Thank you. I'll take it. Again, I don't have cataplexy, and I just started noticing this a couple years ago, and so it didn't take long to get diagnosed, and it usually appears a lot earlier in life. So, but I have always been an early riser, just go and
So you just crank through anyway.
yeah. But the past couple years, it would be I would start sleeping in and I couldn't get out of bed, and I would just my brain would hurt, my eyes would just hurt. I would feel like I wouldn't sleep at all. Then on the weekends I could sleep in 12 hours, wake up and take a 3-hour nap.
Wow.
And I'm like, what is I was like, this is crazy. This is not me. I had so many tests done, and then they're like, go see a sleep doctor. So
Did you go get all wired up in the whole thing? You
yeah,
did that once.
yeah. So they had to keep me overnight to make sure I didn't have sleep apnea, which I didn't. I slept soundly like an angel, and that
Wow.
Then they
They
all
said
say
something
that,
similar
except
to
you
her.
feel like a
yeah,
You feel like a
I
dish
got
rag.
hit by a truck.
Yeah.
And so
But you're
And do
Great.
you actually sleep well that night? Like with all that wires and everything?
Okay.
I thought I did.
You did, okay.
So
Do they give you anything? How does that happen?
no, you get
It's supposed to be a regular night's sleep, so they don't give you
Yeah.
anything, and they don't
And you're-
let you
Right.
take
and you're not supposed to
right.
take anything to keep you awake or any any medicine, anything like that.
Unstimulated.
Yes. So I got there around 9:00, and it's just like a crappy hotel room you're in, and you're hooked up to all this stuff, and you're supposed to sleep on your back, and there's a camera watching you, and
Sounds so relaxing.
and so I turn on Dateline because I get
Oh,
sucked into that.
there you go.
And I was asleep within the
Nighty-night.
second commercial. I was like, And so, anyway, I sleep through that. Maybe woke up once or twice. And so they're like, well, you passed that, so you're going to take the second test, which is you have to take 5 30-minute naps each 2 hours apart. So, and you can't.
5 30-minute naps,
Yeah.
2 hours apart.
So I woke up at 5.
Is that to see if you're even able to do that? Can most regular people just do that?
I don't think so.
That sounds like an impossible
So-
task to me is why I'm asking.
Because you're not allowed to fall asleep in between. So if you're on, they say you are like, you have narcolepsy.
This sounds like a hard reboot, like when you push 2 buttons on your iPhone and then a third one and then you
sounds
hold it
like
down.
looking
And,
for
that button.
yeah.
After that day, like,
a life
how
hack.
are you? Not that day. Not the
Yeah.
result of that day. Like,
Right. Then
How
maybe
are
they
you on
reset you
Wednesday?
Yes.
and tell you you're fine so that
Yeah.
I'm fine. And then you go sleep well after that
Yeah.
because you believe it.
Yeah. So I go to the doctor and they say if you dream in 2 out of the 5, or if you fall asleep in an average of 8 minutes or less, you have narcolepsy. And I dreamt in 4 out of the 5, and I fell asleep on an average of 3 minutes or less each time.
Whoa.
I remember I was like waiting 5 more minutes so I can close my eyes. 5 more minutes so I can close my eyes. I was just like, oh, okay, bye.
Is it possible that you are just like chronically fatigued to your bone as well?
I say yes.
Because I was even thinking before that, but I fell asleep, by 10, woke up at 5, so that's, 6, 7,
7.
8, yeah, whatever, that's a pretty nice chunk of time to sleep.
Yeah.
So I think most...
So you're saying, you mean like, wouldn't you be refreshed after that? Is that your point?
Yeah, and like not want to just...
So I guess what I don't understand is what happens in there that prevents you from getting or you're getting too much REM sleep. What exactly
it's just
is
my brain. So I'm low on hormones, orexin and hypocretin, and that's a sign of narcolepsy too, where your memory just isn't that great. So that explains a lot.
Do all your friends constantly go to you, God, Kirsten, you're so narcoleptic?
Well, this is the horrible thing, actually. Like in college...
Everything's about your sleep. You're so narcoleptic.
Well, in college, that used to be my joke. I'm like, oh my gosh, my narcolepsy. Oh, like...
Oh, see, you did it. That's
did.
your work.
Really?
Yeah, you
Yes,
programmed yourself.
I would totally...
At Capitol?
Do you believe in any of that stuff?
University.
You're a dick. I better apologize for that now. Sorry for calling you a dick.
Well, no, this was earlier to our conversation, not to skip back, but I was in Vegas for a work event, and we were having a birthday, it was my birthday, and there were a bunch of ladies having dinner, and there was another table of a bunch of guys, and they had wrapped up their dinner, and they came over and started talking to us. And
Oh, yeah.
they're like, oh,
Putting
what
the
are you
moves
here
on.
for? And they're like, oh, it's my birthday. We're
He's
all
like, are you on
celebrating."
MySpace or what's going on?
And
Worse.
yeah, we're
shit.
somebody asked, oh, what are you guys here for? They're like, oh, we're rival colleges and we meet once a year, every year. And they're like, oh, what college? They're like, Harvard and Yale. And without missing a beat, I'm like, no way, I'm from Capital University.
Nice.
And it's like the record goes, and everyone's like, what? And many people are like, is that a real school? I'm like, yes, in Columbus, Ohio. It is one of the oldest Lutheran affiliated institutions.
Bravo
Go
to you.
Crusaders! It's an NCAA Division III. We've won
I love you for throwing your name in the hat.
We've
there.
won a national basketball championship. The women have. I mean,
For the D3 championship?
yeah.
Did you
Yeah,
get any
take it.
missile codes with that or secret society secrets?
might
or
have.
Do you
We
know
might
who
have.
killed Kennedy? Did you find that out at Capitol? Because Yale, they tell you that stuff.
We do have a piece of the Berlin Wall.
Oh, who doesn't?
Right.
I have a piece of the
think they
Berlin
handed
Wall. I
them
got
out
in
when
sixth
it came
grade.
down. Here you go.
Yeah, they did it. They told everyone it's gravel from the school when they
give us
repaved
some
the parking
credit.
lot.
Good job
Just
on that
kidding.
wall piece.
I think I've done pretty well.
You've done awesome. Are you for a
Was it-
narcoleptic? Narcoleptic?
Yeah.
For not going
amazing.
to Harvard and Yale, you did fantastic.
Yes.
What
so
was-
F that guy in Vegas.
Yeah.
What was the response from the fellas who
They
went to both
too,
Harvard
just-
and Yale?
I-
Did they get it?
Literally, no one
See that?
got it. That's why I thought it was hilarious.
Clearly didn't hang around the Lampoon. Those guys.
No, it was like
Wow.
one of my proudest moments of because I didn't miss a beat.
When you get one like that in real life in a situation with somebody,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it really is just it's one of those life unlock achievements. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, I just got 24 points on my I'm fulfilled. I feel good about this. We're balancing everything out.
To be a total asshole, I just remember that you were one of the people that could hang. And that was such a big deal back in the day when I was the people I didn't deserve to be around at those junkets. You could hang. You weren't the annoying PR girl that they didn't want in the room. Like they were like, bring that girl in. Let's all have
Probably
lunch.
because I say really
you're
random
hilarious.
things that things just sort of fall out of my mouth.
Same.
Is that bad?
It's a
Well,
good thing.
if the other person has a sense of humor, it's not. But if they don't, but you know what?
You
I
can
guess it's
misjudge
not
that
bad.
too by accident, because sometimes somebody seems like they do and they just do not.
But then I think it's funny, so maybe it is funny. You know?
Honestly,
So-
that's all that matters.
Yeah.
It's the
If
only
you
thing
get if you get a good story out of it, then
yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
podcast life. Quite frankly, it doesn't matter even, but you get a flat tire, anything kind of regular life bad shit happens to you. It's kind of like, look, at least we get this 3 minutes on the show. You know what I mean? It's 5 minutes on the show.
Yeah.
There's a minute and a half on the show,
That's what I told her one time. I'm like, I was feeling so crappy before one of our coffees, but like, I really don't like to ever be the person that's like, I can't come today. Like, meh. You never know what anyone else's day is. Like, so you don't get to like place any precedence of what your situation is. So whatever. I was like, I'm just going to vape a ton of pot and I'm going to like put my body to sleep so that I can talk and function with my friend. And I went there, my eyes, the light changed inside the Starbucks and I suddenly was like, it was as if I'd like opened my eyes in the water. Like I couldn't see anything. And I was like, I'm so smart. I just had a ton of pot. I'm so sorry. Like I couldn't. And she's like, must feel comfortable. I was like, yeah, because I'm going to write about this because this is the weirdest experience. But thank God it was you because I can't be around a lot of people in those moments because I'm like, oh, God.
Were you at like a Starbucks or a Coffee Beaner type of thing?
Yeah. Thankfully, we go to the same place often, so I kind of knew where I was going. But it was akin to being suddenly blind in there. And I was like, oh, thank God.
That's what I'm getting at, though. It's a public place, no matter what, with a lot of strangers, period. It's a weird place to have, like, a trip. It's
so
not a
weird.
friendly environment,
No, it's not.
How about you for taking that perspective on it? Like, wow. Instead of just being like, really? What? What the fuck? We were supposed to have coffee. I had all this shit I had to unload. You could have been that type of person. Sounds like you're not.
Yeah, no, I think I'm pretty, I don't know. I've got a good perspective. I just, I always say, till I'm curing cancer, at the end of the day, nothing really matters. So that's what I...
How did you get there? How did you get that perspective? Did you just
boy.
kind of... Is that all right?
Like, no, it's fine. I'm just like, that's
Well,
a big...
some people would
I
be
don't
like,
know.
oh, my dad used to say it to me all the time. And some people would be like, well, I was, something happened in college and I've had this perspective. What
Well,
I mean?
I
There's
can
all
say then
sorts
this. My uncle always said,
There you go.
stay true to your roots and you'll be a breath of fresh air. So that is what sticks in my mind. And I think that, I don't know, we're all just trying to do our best, so cut some people some slack.
Love
And
it.
just, yeah.
At the end of the day, does it matter? Whatever this thing is in the moment, does it matter?
Yeah.
Generally not.
Because I think everybody is dealing with so much, and that if you, and I don't know, if you're just holding on to that and not able to let stuff go, that...
I just heard your Ohio with the hoding.
What?
That was awesome. I just heard your Ohio come
I
out
was
with the
just
hoding.
back in Ohio.
Yeah,
Back.
you removed the L while you were there.
Holding.
No, I don't care.
If you're just what did I say? Oh my
Hoding.
gosh. I do say pop, and I said I will not stop saying pop.
I like pop.
Yeah,
When I have a pop.
yeah.
I cut you off there, though, with what you're saying, which was actually pretty important. So I'm sorry. I have my little ADD swung
all
in
right.
on the hoding. When you're holding on to something, when you're being true to yourself, we're all trying our best.
Yeah, I mean,
Cut some slack.
yeah, that's basically the gist.
So that's it. You're taking it easy on people
Yeah,
instead of like fucking holding everybody over the coals, which seems to
Yeah.
be what is going on out there at the moment.
whew, ain't that the truth?
But you said that everyone's so prepped for everyone to be a damn liar or a conniver or somebody who's effing you over in some way that everyone's pre-primed and loaded to just like the howitzers are just, and it's like, but what if you're none of that and we all just want to kind of like, I don't know, maybe grow together, learn something or have a good
Yes.
experience together or I don't know, anything
Yep.
where we're just people.
Yeah. I guess, too, maybe it's because you work on a job that is so pretty fast-paced, tons of deadlines, tons of this, tons of that, and that's still going on. And maybe, and again, I guess it goes back to perspective or maybe even your disposition, how you look at things.
Yeah.
So.
Well, your uncle sounds like he is or was a smart guy.
He is.
Good.
Yes.
That's nice.
Yes. I think I have my mom definitely is too. She's definitely an optimist. And
did she have anything she ever told you? It doesn't
she's
matter.
Got a lot. She, the one about
don't want to leave mom out.
When one door closes, another one opens, and she sends me a nice thing every day now. She started to do
like
that.
An email?
Just like some
inspiring meme or something like that.
Although once she got into the Bitmojis, sorry, Mom, I gotta say this. And again, wait, yes, I mentioned my dad was a pastor, and obviously my mom is a pastor's wife. And one day,
weird.
I know, crazy, right?
The math on that I'm having a hard time with, but okay.
She sent me the Bitmoji that she thought just said 2 thumbs up.
Oh no.
She missed the effing way, like the 2 thumbs way effing part. I'm like, oh my gosh, I was rolling.
Was there like something like a subtext or something like that?
No, it's just the image of like her Bitmoji, like 2 effing thumbs up. And that makes me, and then she thought it was hilarious. But wait, that leads to her mom, who always used to point with her middle finger, like,
we just had this conversation.
And so as grandkids, we were like, hey, Grandma, where is that at? Over there. And
just make her do it any way possible.
And so of course my mom's like, well, I just must have been channeling my mom.
Oh, that's adorable.
It was.
Way to find the silver lining.
Yeah. See,
I
can't help it, I guess.
Well, her too, your mom.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a neat thing for your mom.
Mm-hmm. Very cool.
Yes.
To have that perspective built in.
Or something,
Oh my God.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
Can we talk about you sent some pictures ahead of time. Should I just pull them up one by one and you tell us about them?
I didn't know if that second one was so bad, but like.
Oh, it's so good. That's why I played the
Okay.
clips as well with the Rachel Hall thing and the
Yes.
Chris Hall thing. All right, here we go. What is this? Tell us about that. Because it's a screen grab of a video of
I said it's a screen grab of a video
from a VHS, clearly from like 30 years ago.
Easily.
20
I
something.
would say 35 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
My grandfather in East Palestine, Ohio, right on the border of Pennsylvania, he was a ham radio operator and like a techie, gadgety, geek.
How cool.
In the fondest geek way.
Sure.
And so we would go there for the summer.
Here, we'll put it up again.
We would,
I saw you look at it. There you go.
we would just go there for 2 weeks out of the summer because I had 2 cousins there, and we would put on these backyard productions. And my brother was a news junkie. Like, what is he, 6 here or something? I don't know.
So that's
He's an
what
alien
It
there.
seems like he was news guy for I Was Talk Show guy.
Exactly.
Wow.
Like,
So what does that say on the wall behind him there on the poster board?
it's worldwide news, and he did a newscast.
Your brother did?
My
When
brother.
he was a kid?
Yes.
And this is this at your house or?
No, this was in my grandparents' backyard.
Wow.
And so we would.
Oh, that's
do,
outside?
Yeah, we would
that's
do
so
all.
crazy.
It was on a trailer, like a flatbed trailer.
Oh, okay. Oh, I
And-
see. It's cardboard. It's like boxes
Yeah,
or something.
it was
I
a
gotcha.
big box, and.
Wow.
Well, we were.
So that's
he
him like
has
dancing
some-
around in front of it or
He
something?
has some wig on because we were all clowns in his. I think we were. I don't even know what we were doing. But serious, and he would record the news if you missed it.
Wow.
sometime.
Now that is
Local or national?
Well, we were a Dan Rather. It was Walter Cronkite too before.
Whoa. Big
because
deal.
my dad called us in like his final night. He's like, you guys got to come and see this.
His
like-
final send off. The last. Yeah. I'm pretty
So-
sure we watched it too.
My
It's
dad.
the 80s, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
My dad obviously was a news junkie, and it's like silence in the house when the news is on. So, you know.
So he got that from your dad.
Yeah, definitely. And my dad had worked in radio.
Oh.
Yeah, my dad was a broadcaster as well.
Before
Wow.
he was
On
a
radio.
man of God.
Well, he did both, actually.
Oh,
Not mutually
of
exclusive,
course.
Mrs.
In
Ryan.
college,
my bad.
in college, he worked in radio, and then I think a little bit afterwards, in news radio, and then yeah.
I used to work for the sitcom news radio.
Oh, see, keeps on combining.
Comes around.
And then we lived in really small towns, and so WCMS in Salina, Ohio.
Ooh, nice. Shouting out the call letters.
You
I
know,
love it. Let's
yeah.
hear it. Who else?
And so they would do the weekend shifts, and I think my brother had a job when he was 15 there. So
Wow.
It's kind of awesome.
That sounds
Yeah.
so familiar.
Probably like packing tapes and like putting them, like labeling them.
yeah, no, they were on air. They were
At 15, he was on air? Wow.
Wow.
So that's, I mean, incredibly similar.
I mean, we got a lot of experience.
Because I would have been 93. I would have been like 15
Yeah.
probably. I didn't have my license yet. I know that for sure. So I would have been like 15. That's amazing. So your brother and I are doing the same shit.
Yeah,
Wow.
Crazy.
I was talking to Nicole saying how, you know, again, being in church, and I started probably reading lessons as soon as I could read, and so it's always speak slowly, be loud, so the people in the back pew can hear you, enunciate, and so
Yeah.
all these, you know. So I guess we were just trained young.
Good for you.
And not that I don't know, I didn't really put it to any good use, but
All right. Hopes and dreams. Where do you want to go?
where do I want to go? Like,
Yeah. I don't know. We're almost an hour, and I want to, I don't want to wrap it up anytime, like on anything like kind of crazy holy or anything. But I'm just curious, what's next for you? Like, are you happy where you're at? What are you gonna
You know,
do?
I always say-
what would make you the happiest you could possibly be in life?
I am actually really happy now. And I always say I can go where the wind takes me. It just doesn't seem to take me anywhere. So I'm like, why is it that I'm still in LA? So
What do you want?
I honestly, it sounds corny, but I'm pretty good right now. You know? I mean, I could say a lot of boxes are checked off. Now,
I mean, I personally feel that way too, but at the same time, I have a lot of things that we are also still working towards, and things that like, in an ultimate, like my perfect life, blah, blah, blah. I just didn't know if there was anything like that for you, where it's like, in my perfect life, I've got a mink coat, and I've got an animal preservation society thing that I do charity work with, which totally contradict each other, but that's what makes me happy. You know what I mean? Like that's whatever the heck your deal is.
well,
And you don't have to have anything. I was just curious. Basically, we want to, like, if there's anything we can do to help people achieve their dreams and goals, because we're doing that now, we want to help, and we love you. And like, if there's anything we can ever do, even though you're doing great, you don't need any help. Like, just, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
we want to spread the love around, and
Wow.
I don't know if there's ever anything we can do.
I'm going to go on a limb and say that now that you're figuring out your sleep shit and all that stuff, and your life's changing like pretty dramatically, but figuring out your sleep will help you align your personal life better. I feel like then you'll figure out like what you want to do. Like up until now, it seems like you've been really focused on what you need to do to get to the next step and the next job. And now you can flourish.
Yeah, I'm super happy where I'm at right now as far as my job.
You seem it.
Yeah, it's wonderful. So
You seem very well-rounded in general, very healthy in general, other than the
That's so
sleep
funny.
disorder, of course. No, I'm serious. I mean, we meet and talk to a lot of people out there, and everyone's great, but like, if you're going to grade with a curve, there's something going on in society right now,
Yeah.
and you seem to be not playing by that, and maybe that's why you're here.
yeah, I think,
I would concur.
yeah.
You're not. You don't seem to be influenced by the buzz.
Oh,
There's buzz. There's like static buzz. There's like energy. There's shit going on that I'm.
well, in that it took a long time to learn or even, notice that, maybe I don't like that buzz. Or, you know, this is all pretty recent, so I'm still just all figuring it out. But I guess if it's coming across in a positive way, then I guess it's working.
For someone who claimed to be incredibly nervous, you come across as ridiculously relaxed. So that's a good thing in today's society, where everyone's a little too frantic and on edge and ready to shoot. No, no offense. I don't mean literally, but I kind of do
think
too.
that
I
about
mean that
that
as well.
in theaters and public places.
Yeah.
So that you can't help but think about it.
Because you can't, I mean, I don't want to say you can't stop it, but a person being somewhere at some time, you can't deal with that. You can't I can't go to the Grove because I might get shot. Like, you got to live your life. Yeah, that might happen, but it also could happen in your own home. I mean, it could happen anywhere.
That's why you should always know your exits. That's what I learned from someone.
So it sounds like preparation.
It is. It's about being prepared. And if you are in a crowd, know your exits. That's my word of advice.
Look at that. That's what we're leaving it with. I love it.
Good advice.
All right. Well, you guys are awesome. I hope that your coffee dates become or continue to be a regular thing, I should say. I'm so happy that she has you. Do you guys have anything you want to? We're at the hour. I mean, it's time to wrap it up. But
no,
if there's
I'm
anything
just
you wanna
super
talk
grateful
about.
for you to be in my life. And we reconnected at a time that I think we both needed it, but it means a lot to me. So thanks. And you coming here today, just thank you, because I know you know how hard this is for me specifically. So I appreciate you helping me out.
I'm happy to help, and I hope I don't turn off any of your listeners, because
Not possible.
I mean,
You came to play. You wore a Ball State shirt. I mean, seriously, you came to play.
Letterman, yes.
Yeah, no, I get it.
It was like, hopefully your listeners do
I think,
too.
I think so.
They will.
I think it's been established at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I've been there. I've been to Ball State. Many of my friends.
Do you know what's funny? Actually, it just occurred to me, you wearing that, as far as I know, the only other desk and chairs that are in existence, and they are the final ones. This is the first ones. This is the original, and then the last ones are at Ball State.
Yeah.
Right? I think they have the marquee and all the Emmys and
You
all
knew
sorts of
that.
archives.
You know
Yeah.
weird random, like the tick thing. Like you know weird factoids. It's crazy.
I'm good at random.
How do you know all that?
Because I Google random stuff. It's almost fun to see, like, how random can I Google this?
Can you trick
just
Google?
to see what happened? Like, for instance, variations of Googling your name. There was a Saturday Night Live with Ryan Gosling and Jay-Z.
How about that? That's pretty funny.
That's a good episode to watch.
And I'm just like, you never know what you're gonna find.
Wow, that's so funny.
Yeah.
Small world. Well, that and, know your exits.
Know your exit. Seriously.
Good advice. Know what to Google. Know your exits.
All right. Well, we love you. Thank you for being here. Mrs. Ryan, I love you. We love all of you at home. We are back tomorrow with, help me, I'm
Melissa.
having Melissa Faith Ramirez, who's kind of neat. It's like an energy person who I'm really looking forward to having you guys
Again,
talk.
The energy of here. Michael J. Fox. I was thinking Dead Poet Society. It's like, Carpe Diem. When they whisper in the picture.
We didn't go down the list there, but real quick, it was Michael J. Fox, and he's definitely been in those chairs for sure. Who
Kevin
else?
Bacon.
Oh, I'm sure of
Yeah,
it. We'd have to
I'm
look
sure.
that up. but
And
I'm sure.
Crispin Glover.
Probably not on that one.
Not a crush.
Oh, you know what? No,
but
he was
what-
on Late Night, but I don't know if people know this. Those are the same chairs from Late Night too. We'll do a whole thing about that.
That's just cool.
Crispin Glover was on Late Night, and he almost kicked Letterman in the head with
Yeah.
his like big clodhopper boot or
Yeah.
something, right? Didn't he have
Yeah.
like a Saturday Night Fever shoe on or something with the big
And
platform?
he claims he was some, I don't know. It was a whole
That
thing.
we should watch. Yeah, that was a crazy. I remember that. That was nuts. I'm sure that's on YouTube.
Weird. So
Yeah,
weird.
it definitely is.
All right, well, we're gonna find
Because
that.
I Googled that one time too.
All right, we love you, Mrs. Ryan. I
Love
love
you.
you. We love everybody at home. Thank you so much for spending time with us. We've missed you. This is fun. I'm glad to be
Yeah.
back. See you tomorrow.
That was super fun, dude.
I feel like I talked the whole time.
Everybody
Everyone
does
feels
that.
way.
What?
Everyone feels that way.
And then it does go so fast. I was like,